then there's also like people that are elites, and that's their thing. Like their thing is to do something that is horrible, and it's not available to other people. So it's like, I think there's like a sickness that people have when they have power, like extreme power, and then what else can I do? What else can I do? What else is what else is taboo? What else is forbidden? Like all this Diddy shit that's coming out. Like,
I was just gonna say, doesn't that sound topical?
Jesus Christ! The first day of the trial, did you pay attention to any of that stuff? I looked at it for like 10 minutes this morning, and I was like, I gotta stop. I can't look at this.
Well, what freaks me out is the people sitting in the courtroom listening to it.
Right.
And there's a wide spectrum of people that are getting subjected to it, and you just sit there and go.
Yeah, well, not only that, how about the fact that this guy was running this for decades? He was doing this for decades to who knows how many fucking people, and everybody was scared to talk about it because he'd have him.
Diddy is a deeply disturbed individual. The things he and other elites in his alleged sex trafficking ring forced women to do are horrifying. These elites are obsessed with power and driven by a need to degrade and control others. According to Cass's testimony, Diddy would often sit in a corner, orchestrating everything, telling male escorts where to finish and exactly what to do. If Cassie ever said or did something he didn't like, he would become violent and physically abuse her. He didn't see her as a person, but as an object for his control and amusement.
Yeah, it's really wild, man. Evil is a real thing, you know? Nobody wants to believe, because if you believe in the devil, right? If you believe in Satan, you believe in something that's silly. Like most people a lot of people believe in God. If you ask people, do you believe in God? Yeah, well, I'm not religious, but I believe in God. Okay, well, do you believe in the devil? Most people will say no. But do you believe in evil acts? Well, yeah, well, people certainly do evil things. Well, where do you think that comes from? If evil is real, what is it about us that makes us want to deny the possibility that there's some nefarious force that is in human beings, that influences human beings? It's not as simple as like some people are bad, some people are good. No, maybe evil is a real element that you have to fight in life, and that maybe this is just something that's been documented all throughout history, but our arrogance and our secular society wants to keep us from recognizing that as an actual fact.
Victim 3, a former girlfriend of Diddy using the pseudonym Jane, broke down in tears on the witness stand today as she recounted the abuse she endured. She alleged that Diddy forced her to engage in group sexual acts with multiple men while he watched. To keep her compliant and awake, he would allegedly force-feed her high doses of drugs every night.
The third alleged victim, who goes by the pseudonym Jane, was back on the witness stand for her first full day of testimony. The prosecutor played an audio recording for the jury of a hotel night with a male prostitute Jane identified as Dawn. On the recording, Jane and Dawn are looking for a condom, but Combs didn't allow it and can be heard saying, quote, "You're taking that expletive." Jane testified, quote, "I just didn't want to disappoint my lover. He would be unhappy and wouldn't be satisfied with me." Jane went on to tearfully tell the jury about her birthday in 2023 when she said she was made to have sex with 3 different men in addition to Combs. The prosecutor asked why. Jane responded, "I don't know. It had become so routine," and added that she turned robotic. Jane told the jury that after a while, Combs didn't have to directly ask her for these hotel nights. She testified, "I knew it was to be expected." Combs has pleaded not guilty to all charges. If convicted, he faces the possibility of life.
The most disturbing part of this whole situation is that Diddy's accomplices are still hiding in the shadows. It's clear he wasn't acting alone. Flight logs show he was flying women all over the world, but who they were being sent to is still unknown. Diddy is shaping up to be the next Jeffrey Epstein, but unlike Epstein, Diddy reportedly has tapes. This may be why so many witnesses have gone missing.
I've had conversations with people about it, and it's like, Jesus, like just trying to get the documents, like when they're trying to get the Epstein files, like the state of New York, one of the district attorneys was hiding documents that have forced them to give documents. I think there's so many powerful people that are on those lists. There's so many powerful people that went and partied. Air quotes, partied. And how many of them went to the Diddy parties? Have you been paying attention to the trial?
Oh yeah.
Trials. Wild. Wild.
Why don't they air it the same way they aired the the coverage that
Johnny
maybe Johnny Depp got?
I know. Why don't they? I don't know. They should. The ratings would be amazing.
Unreal.
Yeah. Like, what are you doing? Why wouldn't you air that?
What's going to happen though, you think?
Well, Diddy's going to be in jail for the rest of his life. I think he's probably going to get
Think he's
hit up.
insane though?
I don't know. I don't even think it matters. I mean, it's a lot of it is.
But then it's just another
There's-
Epstein.
there's
It's
mur-
Elaine Maxwell, where
there's
someone
mur-
indicted and
cases.
nobody else indicted for getting kids to
Right.
no
to,
one.
to no one. Right. We're like, what is the next crazy thing that's going to explode in the news? Is Bill Clinton's going to have an OnlyFans? Like, what is going to happen? What is the next thing that's going to make us all go, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck is going on?
It's coming. You know it's
How many guys were on video saying, ain't no party like a Diddy party? How many people like openly talked about being there?
LeBron?
Yeah, how about Ashton Kutcher? All these people. Like, you guys all went. You didn't see nothing? You didn't see nothing?
Yeah.
Donnell.
Donnell went? Did he? Of course he
He's on
did.
tape,
Donnell
like,
who?
trying to defend himself.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Is he trying to defend himself right now?
It's pretty funny.
I got to call him up. Donnell, you got to back away from that.
Isn't there a video with Kamala?
She was at one of the Diddy parties?
Isn't she in the background with
It might have been the difference between Diddy parties and freak offs. Oh my
They're giving him
god!
shit too because he's sitting in his.
the guy from Chappelle Show?
Yeah.
And then
He's in between
Dave's
his
there
legs.
too, and then Russell Simmons too. Oh boy! But is that at a party or is that just a group of them together?
They were like on a yacht or something like that.
Okay, but that's not the Diddy
No,
party.
yeah. It's not like they were kind of.
Are they?
On a recent episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Joe broke down the alleged steps behind Diddy's entire operation. There's a reason some of the biggest names in Hollywood were seen at these parties. These celebrities were there to make younger artists feel comfortable and let their guard down. Once inside, guests were reportedly given spiked drinks and coerced into doing compromising things, acts that were likely recorded.
Diddy was rogue or Diddy was like a Epstein type,
That's a good
working for
question.
somebody?
That's a good question. Well, it would be a
'Cause he had the
great
juice
way to,
on a lot of people.
compromise celebrities. Yeah.
Yep.
And get them to say whatever you want them to do, get them to do whatever projects you'd like them to do. And, if you're a bunch of other celebrities are there, you're like, oh, look, Bill Clinton's here. This is fine.
Yeah.
This is cool. Look at this. Like, Brad Pitt's here. Oh, this is cool. You don't even think there's anything wrong with being there. Meanwhile, you're getting drugged up and filmed. And then they're passing out punch. Have some punch, Aaron. And you have some punch, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm feeling really good. I just feel amazing. You're all mopped up. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. Probably a combination of things they give you.
And it's all being filmed.
Crazy. Now, if that's not an intelligence agency operation, it's just one evil super genius who figures out how to compromise everybody by providing this crazy freak off party. Everybody's got to put their phones away. Okay, we're going to put our phone away. No one's going to know anything. Yeah, I mean, he's going to get cameras everywhere. It's just one guy doing that. What a diabolical human being.
Yeah.
He seems pretty diabolical.
He's probably working with somebody. Or for somebody.
Maybe.
And maybe he just got too far out there.
Some of the shit that came out in the trial, though, like he's forcing his girlfriend to have sex with prostitutes while he was sitting there jerking off with a bandana on. She'd rub the on his nipples. Like, what are we even talking about? There's so many horrific accusations, though, involving young singers, like children.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's insane.
He makes R. Kelly look like a decent guy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It is crazy. And meanwhile, the guy was like hanging out with Oprah, hanging out with Obama.
Jay-Z,
Everybody.
I'm sure the Clintons were there at some point.
Maybe Bill.
Why are witnesses suddenly disappearing months before the trial has even begun? Joe suggested that the raid on Diddy's mansion may have actually been a cover to destroy key evidence rather than collect it. Is it really just a coincidence that the very people who could expose Diddy's accomplices are now vanishing?
I mean, everybody hung with Diddy. That's the other tricky
Yeah,
thing. Like, Diddy
that
hung
is
out
the
with
thing.
everybody. And I've spoken to a bunch of people who are like, yo, great dude, like, always there for you, never asked for a single thing.
Till 1 a.m.
And then
then
freak off.
everybody says, "Get out of the house."
Yeah.
It's like the gremlins start eating after midnight. Everybody who tells the stories like, I saw her go upstairs and these dudes are fucking like right on the couch.
Yeah.
And then I go in this room and these guys are fucking, and it's like,
and pros. Like apparently he was getting male gigolos to fuck girls. That
girls.
Yeah, that was one of the rumors, like the
Male
freak off. So he would
gigolos.
hire the professional dicks to have sex with the girls, and I think he would watch allegedly. That's what was alleged, I think. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and that's the other thing. Like, I wonder, like, is that just a power thing?
It's a Caligula thing.
What does that mean?
Caligula, like the emperor. Did you ever see that movie, Caligula?
No.
It's about just Roman empires being completely out of control. Caligula was like almost like porn, and it was a movie made, I want to say in the 70s. It's a crazy movie. But it's just detailing extreme excess where you could never fill the hole.
But what is the hole you need to fill? Like, I'm trying to find, like, what's the
Just
catalyst?
chaos. What year was this? 79. Yeah. That's Malcolm McDowell, right? Yeah. Yeah, the dude from Clockwork Orange.
Oh, yeah.
It's a crazy movie, man.
But
And it's still mild in comparison to what Absolute have. Absolute power corrupts. Caligula.
Okay, so then there's the question. It's like, can you take a completely normal person, give them power, and then they become that? Or does it take a power-hungry person that has this void that needs to be filled, and then when they are given that power, you see the worst version of them?
Ask your CIA boy. I bet he's got the answers. I bet he knows the exact formula.
One of the witnesses, who was supposed to be under federal protection, had her real identity leaked, despite a court order meant to keep her safe. This is no longer just about the crimes of a music executive. This case is pulling back the curtain on the dark underbelly of Hollywood. And now, that darkness is pushing back. Someone powerful is pulling the strings, and they want the witnesses to know exactly who's in control.
Wait, interesting update from court. Sean Combs' counsel, Alexandra Shapiro, says some people on the internet think they figured out who Mia is. We got this video, again, that might be used to impeach her credibility. We got this video also from random people on the internet. We don't think this was ever posted on her social media. It was on some random website. Should we show it to you? I got to ask you. I have to move on to this question, Serena. This is quite alarming. How is this possible?
I have no idea how it's possible, and I'm sure Mia is probably panicking in this moment in time. Like, are people stalking her on the internet, trying to figure out her identity? She testified that she was a victim, essentially. There's rape shield laws that exist to try to protect people in her position. And so this is really getting very nerve-wracking probably for her, and just absurd for the courtroom.
If someone revealed her identity, is that a crime, Tyler?
No, it's not a crime if somebody revealed her identity, especially if they're not a part of this case. The reason they have these confidentiality orders and protective orders is for the parties involved to do their best to protect a Jane Doe or anybody proceeding under a pseudonym's identity. It is possible for the public to learn their identity, but it's really the people who are part of the case who are agreeing to protect her confidentiality. Once she got on that stand, it's very possible that somebody knew her identity. What I find more troubling and less likely is if this video is being sent by random people on the internet, and that's what they want to proffer as evidence in this criminal trial, I find that hard to be admitted. If they could track the video from one person who could confirm the identity of the person, and then it could be used for impeachment evidence, that's different. But random people on the internet sending videos, that opens the door to a can of worms.
As more layers of this case are uncovered, the situation grows even darker. Some believe that Homeland Security, not the FBI, was sent in for a reason: to keep certain names from ever being made public. 3 former US presidents have reportedly been photographed at Diddy's parties, along with members of the British royal family. Could the release of these alleged tapes actually pose a national security threat?
I don't know. There's a lot going on. A lot of rumors are flying.
The rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein-type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors, yeah. I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
The thing is, like, we're getting the rumors from the internet, and
Right.
the internet thinks that the Taliban took out that bridge in Baltimore. So it's like, who fucking knows? Who knows what's real?
That's what Diddy's lawyers, I think, said. It was like, that these are just trumped up charges, not trumped up, I don't think they said that, but like bullshit charges.
Dude, when Homeland Security invades your house,
You got problems.
with dudes with fucking guns and body armor. There's
Someone said that they weren't there to take stuff, they were there to delete everything. Like the real people that were in there, you know.
Oh,
Like
that's
the same
funny.
thing with Epstein.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
That's fun. Of course. There's layers upon layers. When you get into these fucking conspiracy theories, man, they never end. They never end. There's just layers upon layers upon layers.
It's fun to talk about.
It is fun to talk about. It's hard to know what's true. But why people genuinely love it when someone like Diddy gets caught, though. The glee that people have is weird.
Why?
Because he's too successful. Also, it's like there was always so much East Coast, West Coast shit that's still like in the zeitgeist, you know, like with Biggie and Tupac, and they were all hating at each other, and they both got killed, and there was a lot going on. And then there's people that thought that Puffy was involved and Suge Knight was involved.
Accusations implicate dozens of unidentified witnesses and alleged co-conspirators around the world. And some of the key witnesses to the supposed incidents are dead. Basically meaning, how can we defend against it? The defense is not even permitted to share the identities of the individuals described in the disclosure letter with Mr. Combs until April 18th, further hampering defense counsel's ability to investigate. Collectively, these new allegations require many months, if not years, to investigate, and if admitted, would require a series of mini-trials, certain to double the length of a trial the government originally said would last 3 weeks. So this is an explosive allegation that on its face, I don't know if I necessarily disagree with. If they are bringing in evidence of uncharged conduct, wouldn't the defense have an opportunity to investigate it and challenge it? It seems like they're making a point. So if this evidence is allowed in, there is a chance this could delay the trial significantly. We all know Combs wants to go to trial, but how can he properly defend himself against this in just a few weeks?
Diddy's victims felt completely trapped. He controlled every aspect of their lives and reportedly didn't hesitate to threaten their families. One of the key witnesses, testifying under the alias MIA, says Diddy brainwashed her, convincing her that if she ever went to the police, he would end her life.